Let's have Yinka Awosanya on stage. He's going to present very briefly a report on the financial services space in Nigeria. Yinka Awosanya, please come on stage. Welcome him.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Yinka Awosanya, and I lead the research team at Techpoint Africa. So I'll be making a presentation, just a sneak peek, about one of the reports we are currently working on, financial services, the financial services space in Nigeria. So, can we have my... Yeah, I'll just continue before while we're still trying to sort it out. Prior to leading the research team, as a journalist, an editor, one of the key sectors that I cover most is financial services. How the role CBN is playing in financial services, what tech is doing, and how it's affecting everyone. So, and then earlier in the year, the opportunity came to work on a report which was sponsored by TMAPT. So, yes. So, and it was like, oh, this is interesting. This is something and I've always passionate about. So, at least let's just see what happened and explore what's happening in the financial space. Yes, why the report? So, for about 15 months prior to April, so we're based in, a couple of us are based in Ile-Ife. So we had to move back to Lagos when we resumed fully. We moved out because of COVID, and we're running fully remote. So moving back, none of the drivers are supposed to help us with our stuff. He's in his late 20s to early 30s. He doesn't have a bank account. You want to make payment to him, he has to do cash. Okay, fine. And then this came on board. I said, okay, let's see how this goes. So in the course of doing the report, these are some of the things that we found out. So commercial banks in Nigeria, 4.4 branches. Agency banking has 105 million. The plus there is because we didn't get all the players in the market. And then OP has the largest agency banking network in the country with over 500K. There is more. Over the last couple of years, last, say, 10 years, Fintech alone has raised $2 billion. And majority of them, those came within the last 4 years. 54 fintech startups were founded in 2018 alone. The highest so far since in 2018, the highest so far since 2008. And then 46 of those are still active. 300,000 active fintech platforms. Now, this is not saying 300 startups, just platforms. So you have the likes of InterSwiss counted as among this figure. So a lot more industry figures. Okay, now, in the course of the report, we spoke with over 4,500 people across the country, working with core members, asking them how they assess financial services, what it means to them, and the kind of service they think they need, the problems they think financial services platforms should help them solve. From that, we get that half of those without bank account or mobile money are between the ages of 18 to 25 years old. And then a large percentage of people without bank account also have no formal education or only have at least a primary education. 4 in every 10 without bank account have an average income of less than 35,000 naira per month, which was just increased recently as the minimum wage. Other insights. So we get to know how people, where people live, the types of phone they use, the language they understand, and how all these things affect their, whether they own a bank account or not. They also share why they don't own a bank account. So we ask them, so why do you think you don't own a bank account? And a lot of things that we didn't expect. That yes, I don't own a bank account because this. And you have people that have proximity to financial service institutes, but they still don't own a bank account. All right, the question: are there really too many fintech startups? I know the earlier panel must have touched on that, but then are there really too many fintech startups? I made this tweet in May. That's why we are still working on the report. So I just, based on the data we've gathered at that point, I tweeted, there are currently over 250 active fintech startups in the country. A lot of, yeah, that's a lie, no. And then there's also another platform that said we have 144, others around 200. But then, am I right? And was I right to make this tweet then or not? At the end of the day, this is the actual figure that we got. 270 plus. So yes, I was 20 plus short. So we have 270 plus active fintech startups, not fintech platforms now. So the likes of InterSwitch or eTransact are not part of this 270. So I can assume that everyone here has a bank account, right? Okay, so let's do an exercise. So we're going to raise our hands up. So if you have at least 2 bank accounts, let's raise our hands up. At least 2. At least 2. Okay, at least 3. Still keep your hand up. At least 3. At least 3. So that's about 90%. Okay, now let's keep our hands down. So now let's assume that everyone here is in my circle. Say friends, family, colleagues, ex-colleagues, and the likes. So it's possible for me to just say, yes, there are too many fintech startups because, yes, everybody has a bank account or a mobile money account. But then it goes beyond just having a mobile money account. Now, credit. Only 31% of MSMEs surveyed in 2017 have obtained loan from a deposit money bank or microfinance bank. And then only 4% of 40 million MSMEs in Nigeria have access to credit from Nigerian banks. Now, what we don't try to answer in the report is whether there are too many fintech startups or not. No. But then you look at these figures and you ask yourself, are there really too many? Or do you just have some of them that are helping you to do exactly the same thing? Now, pension. 9.5 million people are on the contributory pension scheme as of 2021. And the working population of Nigeria is about 50, 60 million, and just 9.5 million. Then, according to a global Findex database, only 12.5 million Nigerians aged 15 and above save for retirement. Now, bank accounts. Which brings me back to the bank account questions where I was asking if we have 2 to 3 bank accounts. Now, if we ask how many people here have a retirement savings, well, I don't think we might have up to that. I don't think so. Right? We should do this. No. Okay, so some other stuff that we have from the reports. I'll show you a card. So we compare Nigeria with other developing countries with similar population figures, as well as some African most populous countries. Then we look at the regulatory frameworks, the financial service, and how it relates to the social development, sustainable development goals, and opportunities in industries, insight from industry stakeholders, and a lot more. Okay, to get the report, I would have given a lot more, but then to get the report, just sign up to our newsletter and you'll be the first to know when our release is. So just bit.ly/Intel Point, and that will be all. We did not write that down. Oh yeah, I'll show that you the picture. Thank you. Are we good? So if you have anything that you think we can do with your brand, just the email address is intelligence@techpoint.africa. And if you want to access any of our previous reports, is intelligence.techpoint.africa. So thank you very much.